For these projects, I'm using Mod Podge glue, varnish, a flat brush, acrylic paint, and a paper with design. Decoupage is the art of gluing a decorative paper onto an object. You can decoupage on many different surfaces, like wood, ceramic, tin, plastic, fabric, and glass. Here I am taking an old tin can and giving it a new life. I took some pictures on the internet and printed them on a printer. You can cut out your paper to size. It is easier if you cut everything to fit before gluing. With a flat brush, apply a thin to medium coat of glue on the surface. I am using Mod Podge, but any glue that dries clear can be used. I let the glue sit until it's not so wet. It should be tacky to the touch. Then I position the paper onto the tin can. I put my finger gently over the paper. Using my finger can rip the paper easily, so it is better to use a roller or brush to do this. You can use any paper like wrapping paper, newspaper, magazine clippings, and decoupage tissue paper. If you are using thicker paper like greeting cards, you might want to soak or spray the paper with water first to thin it out before decoupaging. Remember, the thinner the paper, the easier it is to wrinkle and tear, but the thicker the paper, the harder it is for the glue to soak through the paper fibers. I let my project dry completely. Then I apply a top layer of Mod Podge. Don't put on a top layer of glue on right away, as that will give the paper more wrinkles. I recommend at least 2 coats if your project is for indoor use. Once my base layer is glued on, I experiment with design and add interest by using large and small flower pieces, layering and overlapping. Let your project dry for 15 to 20 minutes before putting on that top coat. This next step is optional, or if you are putting it in a wet place like a bathroom or outdoors, I would recommend a few coats of varnish on top of your finished product. The varnish layer really helped to reduce or even eliminate the air bubbles in my project. The next project is a wooden box. This is optional, but I base coat the surface with acrylic white paint. Many items need a base coat before decoupaging if your surface is unfinished, or if you're using thin paper and you want the base coat color to show through to match your paper. This time I'm using pages of a calendar. I apply Mod Podge. Let it dry for a bit, then I position my paper. Using too much glue will cause air bubbles and wrinkles. I continue to do the same for the other sides. I let my project dry completely. Then I apply a top layer of Mod Podge. Air bubbles will happen most of the time, but when I apply the varnish top coat, many air pockets and imperfections went away. This is especially true if you've created more than one layer of varnish on the surface. I always like to mix in an art project with my craft project. I am taking a used canvas and I will decoupage this peacock, which I printed on regular white paper. I give a coat of Mod Podge all over the canvas. I let it dry completely. I'm using the iron-on method. Once dried, I set my iron on medium heat. The iron should not be set on high. I take a layer of baking sheet or even a cloth and iron on. This method is fast and easy. This only works if you have a big and flat surface like a canvas or a tabletop. This will not work for smaller projects with corners. Making sure to iron the edges on well. Once done, I apply a top layer of Mod Podge and varnish and follow the same steps as the previous projects. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!